What do we have here? Feast your eyes on the Gavko Thresher. The shark-inspired titanium thumb stud knife. Although it has a hidden flipper. Ooh. I could show you now. No, I will just wait on that. But the thumb studs are great, man. Don't worry about the flipper. Look at these thumb studs. You don't see this too often. You don't see this knurled surface on the thumb stud too often. Let's see if we can get a good picture of those. Most thumb studs are sort of a pyramid step design. Kind of like that. Yeah, most are like that. But this guy has this rounded, kind of sandblasted shape to the thumb studs, and it's just more makers should use it. It just sticks to your thumb anywhere you put it. You can slow roll it or you can flip it, and you can use your thumbnail or you can use the meat of your thumb. It doesn't matter. It flips like crazy. It reverse flicks super easy. Your tip of your fingernail just kind of sticks to it, even if it's like over on the edge. Like, these thumb studs are by themselves pretty incredible. And when you put it with the rest of this knife, this titanium that's scallop milled with the cool lines, all titanium hardware, titanium clip. The clip's a little big, but the Thresher's tail, the tail on the Thresher shark, is extra long, so it really kind of goes with it. Look at this. See this cutaway here? This is the cutaway that allows the lock bar to move easily. If we had this straight all the way across, the titanium would be too thick and the spring would be too strong. So typically knives have a cutout here, or they have it on the inside. This one's on the outside, but they have it on the inside. Or I'm sorry, they have it on the outside, and they ramped it down into the cutaway. Some knives don't, and that makes it a pain because as your pocket material moves in here, it gets kind of caught up on these flat-sided edges that some knives have on their cutaway right there. Let's see. Okay, here's one that has the more flat side. Now these guys, this two-sun knife, well, that's a 6-leaf knife actually, they get away with it because the clip is far enough forward of it to where it doesn't, if it was sitting right parallel with it, it would be a problem, but since it's forward of it, it's not too much of a problem. But it's just a little extra step that this manufacturer did, which is WE knives. So this thing is a WE knife, basically. I mean, Gavko design and Drop actually produced it, I guess. Mass Drop. I think it's just Drop now. And what is Mass Drop anyway? Or Drop? So what I think it is, you know, I'm an old guy. I don't know all this new technology stuff. But I think what Mass Drop is kind of like a community of enthusiasts, and they kind of get together to produce things that they think as a group would be cool to produce. And, you know, I assume the knife guy part of that group is one group. You know, I'm not part of the group. I don't know. But it almost seems kind of like a crowd-funded type thing. But anyway, however they got the funds together, they got WE knives to produce this thing. And you can kind of tell it's a WE knife production. Shut up, dog. I mean, look at that. Those tolerances right there. Just beautiful. I think it's a G, like a little Gavko G. The design is just outstanding too. I mean, you got like these cool lines on it that are a little grippy. And this center line that goes down is also the center line that makes the cut for the lock bar. what is that finish? Stone washed, I guess. The blade looks satin. Kind of a Bowie-ish, kind of a double Bowie clip pointy. Yeah, I don't know. It's a cool blade, whatever you want to call it. S35 VN. Pretty much everything else is titanium other than the stop pin and I don't know, a couple other things. The blade is pretty stout too. It's definitely a thick boy. 4mm if I remember right. It's fairly light too. I mean, for being solid titanium, no, they don't have any relief cuts inside. But these scallops, I guess that kind of takes away some. What was it? 4.6 ounces, so under 5 ounces by a bit. I said your thumb doesn't slip off, you don't keep slipping, but it's because I'm looking at this through the camera, so it's kind of, you know. But your thumb doesn't slip off, it's just great. There's a lot of different versions of this, quite a few, not just colors. Some have flat sides, some have little small scallops just along the side. I could probably put a picture of some different ones up here. Gavko makes a bunch of different designs, and they're all, at least as far as I know, they're all shark based. You got, let's see, I remember there was a nurse shark. I saw that. We'll put it up here. I think there's a tiger shark. I think there's a hammerhead. Did I say black tip? Tiger, hammerhead, nurse shark. They got a great white too. I did a review on that one, but I only did the version that's artisan, and it was kind of doo-doo. Not a big fan of that one. But if his other stuff is like this, I would definitely give it a shot. This is outstanding for an under $200 knife right now. I think it's easily could compete with $350, $400 knives. Just really nice. Highly recommended. Michael Gavko. Great job, buddy. I forget where he's from. Is he maybe from the Baltic area? Something like that. I know he moved to the U.S. like in the early 2000s. Started designing knives. I think he moved to Florida at some point. That's where I am. And started using the Shark moniker for his different knives. But seriously, grab one of these if you can. It's crazy good. Crazy good knife. Oh, I forgot the secret flipper. So if you look in here, that's kind of where you would have a normal flipper, right? And a lot of times this part would be cut away. I don't know why, but then you would, you know, the flipper would be sticking out kind of. Here, let's see. Kind of like this. So here's your flipper tab. And here's the flipper kind of sticking out. This part of the handle could come out and hide it, right? And that would be kind of cool, actually. But it doesn't. Let's see. Does it on this one? Almost. Almost kind of hides it on this one, but not quite. But anyway, on this one, you could say that's kind of a flipper tab that's mostly hidden by this handle. But where does the flipper tab go? Well, it doesn't actually come all the way out because it's not a flipper tab. So it's just the stop of the blade that goes against the stop pin, right? But if you get your finger in there a little bit, it's a flipper tab. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scallop this back of this handle so that you can get your finger down in there a little better. And then I'm going to flatten off the top a little bit with some rough sandpaper so that it really grabs, because right now it's a little slick. I kind of have to get my nail in there on it to really flip it, and maybe give it a little wrist. But I think if I scallop a little opening there, and it won't look any different from the side, it'll just be straight across. Until you look at it like this, you'll start to see the little scallop cutaways. Look at that backspacer too. That thing is nice. The scallops on the backspacer all line up with the little lines. Just really well thought out design. Now, hopefully I'll come back and show you a slightly modded one where you can really get to the flipper easy and flip it out. Gavko Thresher flipper mod, hopefully coming soon. Have a nice day. Oh, you thought it was over. No, it's not over. Always wait for the after credits to make sure it's over. So, somebody said, oh, you just only said good stuff about it, no negatives. Okay, so what are the negatives on the Gavko Thresher? I said pocket clip is a little long. Doesn't really bother me at all, but it is like half the length of the damn knife. The Thresher Shark's tail is like almost the whole length of the Thresher Shark's body, so I think there's a connection there. I mean, potheads would definitely think there's a connection there. But what's a real negative on this thing? Okay, I got one. This edge right here, and this edge, and this little corner right here, they're a little tiny bit, not sharp, but aggressive. Could have rounded that corner off a little more, rounded this one off a little more. They did round off these points where it comes to a point here. They rounded that off a little bit, but you can still kind of feel the edge of that line, that deep cut line coming through. So a little tiny bit of an ergonomics issue. Like if I put my hand like this, I can kind of feel that little line there. If I go like this and hold it real tight, I don't really feel it there, actually. See, there, yeah, okay, if I hold it this way, which is kind of unusual, I can kind of feel it pinch a little bit right there. What else? Oh, the centering, oh no, it's dead on. I could say the detent is a tiny bit light, but trying to use this tiny little flipper, once I get it opened up some, I'll need a really light detent anyway, so really it works perfect for me. Now, it's a light enough detent where you can fail it pretty easy with the thumb stud. I mean, you can just kind of, and it doesn't flip out. So, it could be a little stronger detent. Okay, so a little bit light on the detent. Could use a little more chamfering on these edges. Yeah, I feel like this one's a little more rolled over. Okay, there you go. Negatives on the Gavko Thresher. In case you needed some. Nah, just buy it. Have a nice day.